Nubia has just unveiled its new foldable and it is going to be economical. Just like the last generation, we are talking about the Nubia Flip2. It seems that this brand is renewing its catalog. Recently, they presented the Nubia Music 2. Now comes Nubia Flip 2. Surely in a short time will arrive the Nubia Focus Pro 2, which attracted attention as well. In fact, this brand is doing very attractive things by focusing on very specific aspects of some devices, especially in the mid-range, although in this case we are talking about a folding device, but could we say that it is a mid-range folding device? Let me tell you about its features. Because its main novelty with respect to the last generation is the change in the external screen, which is now rectangular, it gains much more space. It is 3 inches with a resolution of 422 by 682 pixels. For now, it is not clear whether it is an OLED or LCD screen, possibly LCD to save costs, but that will have to be confirmed later. The internal screen, that is the folding screen, is 6'9" inches in its diagonal, has OLED technology with 120 Hz in its refresh rate and full HD plus resolution. For the front camera, we will find a 32 megapixel sensor, which I find curious because generally in foldable devices it is more advisable to use the rear camera. So I would have liked to bet on a camera a little simpler to invest that budget in other things. On the outside we will find 2 cameras. The main one is 50 megapixels and the secondary camera is a macro camera of 2 megapixels, so do not pay much attention to that camera, it seems more of decoration. The front camera budget would have been invested in an external ultra-wide camera. I think it would have been much better. There is also a flash in a ring shape that could give a nice aesthetic touch. The processor is the MediaTek Dimensity 7300X. A somewhat unknown processor comes accompanied with 6 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage, confirming that this is a mid-range device despite being a foldable. In addition, it runs Android 14 out of the box, and its battery has a capacity of 4,300 mAh. As you realize, it is not something so spectacular, but for being a foldable, I think it is still acceptable. Interestingly, the manufacturer does not reveal the charging power, but simply reveals that charging up to 100% could be achieved in 55 minutes, so we could anticipate that if it is a relatively fast charge. With regard to resistance, it integrates IP42, i.e. it has some level of dust resistance, which is quite remarkable for being a hinge and slightly resistant to splashes. Let's say that in this case it is a splash a little simple, but it can be remarkable for a mid-range device. This device for now has been introduced in Japan at a price of about $406, although remember that prices here are not the same as over there. Nubia is currently having a good distribution in Mexico, so we hope that the launch in this region will be soon.